Hey everybody, welcome back to Everything Dog. I'm Denise Mazzola. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, we would love it if you would. Just hit the subscribe button and hit the little gray bell, whatever it is, and you'll get a notification in your email every time we post something, which is generally on Wednesdays. Okay, today's topic, we're continuing the conversation on aggression because it's a huge topic. There is no way to get through all of the intricacies, all of the issues, all of the types, all of the remedies, all of the things that you can do, obviously in one 10-minute tip. So we're breaking them down. And today's 10-minute tip is really about giving yourself grace and not blaming yourself for your dog's aggressive behavior. And the reason is I have been seeing a lot of inter-dog aggression recently. Just seems to be the way the business goes, ebbs and flows. Sometimes it's all separation anxiety. Right now it's all about inter-dog aggression. It's always complicated, right? But in my 30 years of working with dogs and people, the number one reason that I see that dogs become aggressive or they bite or they growl is genetics. Who mom and dad were. Whether they're fearful, whether they're shy, whether they're anxious and nervous. And just like all things, then there is a piece of life events that can happen that might exacerbate a dog that's already shy and nervous. And it's just like with people, like they talk about how, some people are more resilient than others, and you can have people that experience a very similar trauma in their life, and one person is kind of able to move on and get going, with help, and another person may be just depressed and down and out and really, really, really having a hard time moving forward, yet they experience the same trauma. A lot of that is their resilience, their personality, who they are inside, as well as potentially life events. So again, in 30 years of working with dogs and people and doing a lot of aggression, a lot, thousands of dogs that have been aggressive in one fashion or another, the main thing that I see is there is a huge genetic component to that. And we all recognize that if your dog has bad hips, if they have a lot of allergy issues, if they have terrible fur or the wrong color or whatever it is, most people would recognize and say, yeah, that's genetics, right? And they, if you're really particular, you can look back in the line and say, oh yeah, that was, whatever dog had, terrible hips on both sides or whatever, and it gets passed down. But we're really, really resistant to understanding that aggression is also an issue of genetics. That if you take a shy, nervous, fearful dog and you, let's just be extreme here, you put a prong collar on him. You're walking him, the dog's looking at people, you're giving him jerks on the prong collar. Prong collars are designed to make dogs bite. They're designed to agitate dogs. Now you have this shy, fearful dog that's getting zapped in the neck by the prong collar every time they look at people. And pretty soon, your shy, fearful dog's will be like, all right, I've had enough. Now I'm going to try to bite that person instead of waiting around for this thing to happen to me, because they make the association with the person, okay? So I don't want you to blame yourselves any longer. Show yourself some grace and some forgiveness for whatever it is that you think you did that caused this dog's aggression. Because I'm really here to say, in all my years, I haven't heard anything that people said that caused their aggression. A couple examples of inter-dog aggression. Years ago, I saw a family, and they had a female terrier mix that they adopted, and then they recently adopted another female terrier mix from a rescue organization. This dog in the foster home had one or more fights with another dog in that foster home, and they still placed the dog with this family who had a female terrier. Now, in my opinion, shame on the rescue. If you're a rescue organization, you should know that female dogs should not be placed together. It's a much better chance of success if you have opposite genders, and terriers in particular, because they're just tenacious little things. So anyway, this woman had this enormous fight between her two female terriers, and it was a bloodbath. That's what she described. She sent her son out of the house because she was so nervous for his safety, and I got a call from the rescue organization asking about the situation in the house. I had done a consult, so I was telling her what I saw. And so she said, well, let me ask you, did she have toys on the ground? I said, yeah, she had toys on the ground. Oh, well, you know, we told her that she shouldn't have toys on the floor with the dogs. I'm like, are you kidding me? We spend, as Americans, so much money, billions of dollars on our dogs. Who doesn't like to go out and pick out the newest toy, the squeakiest toy, the softest toy, whatever? Toys and dogs, they go together like ketchup and hamburgers or whatever you want to do, right? I mean, they go together. So yeah, she had toys on the floor. She should have toys on the floor. You ought to have toys on your floor. Yet, the rescue organization was blaming the woman for this dog fight, that she caused it. It was her problem. They did not take the dog back from her. I think she was trying to sort it out, but that's not the point. The point is that in that case, I would blame the rescue organization. If we got to blame somebody, in that case, it was the rescue organization. They should not have placed that dog with another dog, and they should not have placed two female dogs together. And when the woman called with this problem, they shouldn't have been surprised. They should have said, yep, we'll take her back into foster right away so you can have a peaceful house back again, and we'll place her with as an only dog. That would have been the best thing for her, okay? The other one I'm going to give you is two purebreds that are fighting. The wife has been bitten 3 times, the husband's been bitten 2 or 3 times, and it goes from a look, a stare, to an all-out fight where nobody is stopping very, very quickly. The family is very familiar with this breed. They've had them growing up. They've had them a lot. And so they live out in the country. They have a lot of acreage. So they went out and their first dog is purchased. Their second dog was rescued from wherever. And now they're fighting. And I kind of was looking at them and I said, just want to address something that you're not saying, but I hope you're not blaming yourself for this. Like, who wouldn't want a second dog? We have 2 dogs. Most people I know have more than 1 dog. Like, it's fun to have more than 1 dog. That's why we do it. And so they brought a second dog into their home. Their first dog hadn't shown any of this prior to the second dog coming in their home because there hadn't been a dog in the house. They have all this acres to go out and play. He's a hunter. He takes the dogs out with him hunting. It's a perfect situation to have 2 dogs. Yet they were blaming themselves for bringing in the second dog. Why did we do this? If we hadn't done this, they wouldn't have this problem. Well, yeah, they wouldn't have had the problem, but this is where we are. So all of this is to say, take a step back. There's nobody that's going to love your dog more than you. There's nobody that's going to do more than you've already done or are willing to do with your dog. And I really want you to hear this loud and clear. Genetics is the primary reason that fearful dogs become aggressive, that there's other miswiring or whatever it is that's happening in your dog. It's primarily genetics. And then there's some environmental things that might happen, might make it worse, but it's already there humming below the surface. So please stop blaming yourself. There's really no point in blaming anybody, but I really want you to stop blaming yourself, because once you can let go of that, you're going to be more open to other things that you can do with your dog, ways to manage your dog, and ways to train your dog so that maybe we can mitigate some of this aggression. All right, you guys, please subscribe to the channel. We'll notify you when we are uploading, and you can also catch us on Facebook live every Monday between 8 and 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.